getting ready to make Hawaiian meatballs. They're a little bit sweet, a little bit savory, but so delicious. And my favorite part about it, they're quick and easy. I've got a few ingredients out here, and that's all it's gonna take to make it. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I pretty much have most of the ingredients right here. We're going to be using some grass-fed ground beef. This is 1 pound. You can use ground turkey. I'm going to be using some Wagyu beef tallow in this recipe as well. We've got a little brown sugar, some garlic paste. You can mince some garlic if you want. I have pineapples. Yes, these are canned pineapples, but if you're going to use canned pineapples, then make sure there's nothing else in here. That is just pineapples and pineapple juice. Now you can get a fresh pineapple and cut it up, but when it comes to quick and easy, that's more work, okay? So I've got some white wine vinegar, brown sugar, garlic, a few other ingredients, and I will be putting in some of my Pam's Prep all-purpose seasoning. So let's go ahead and get our meatballs made up. First thing we need to do is make up our meatballs. So we're going to add in our garlic powder. I am adding in some of my Pam's Prep all-purpose seasoning. The entire recipe, ingredients, and everything will be on my website, pamspreps.com. We're adding in some ginger paste. Now here you can also add in minced ginger if you like. And I am adding in also a tablespoon or 2 of this beef tallow. You don't really need much. This is probably about 1.5 tablespoons. If you don't have Wagyu beef tallow or don't want to use it, you can put in breadcrumbs, cracker crumbs, anything of that nature, anything that you want to use that will help keep it moist. But this beef tallow, I love it, love it, love it. Not only does it provide an amazing flavor. It's Wagyu, it's just not any beef tallow, so that makes it even better. But it also keeps it moist and juicy. And that's what we want for our meatballs. I'm going to mix this in very well, but likewise, you don't want to overmix your meatballs. Ooh, this smells amazing. You can smell that ginger. Oh my goodness. Once you get it all mixed, then you want to just form your meatballs. Now, you can make your meatballs any size you want. Just try to make them uniform in size. I like this as a good size for myself, but you can make them any size that you want. But when they're uniform, that means they will cook evenly and at the same time. So you won't have one that's done and another one that's not quite done. Okay? So I'm going to make these all up and we'll be back. We want to heat our skillet up, and you want to add maybe about just 1 tablespoon of oil or something to your skillet. Again, I am using the Wagyu beef tallow. Tallow. Tomato. For those of you who will say it's not pronounced that way. So we're just going to let this melt. Then we're going to add our meatballs. We're going to saute them for about 10 minutes. And we're going to turn them occasionally so they can brown on all sides. So the first thing we want to do is take our brown sugar and combine it with the cornstarch. Just make sure it's pretty well combined. If you have any large chunks of brown sugar, just kind of break that up a little bit. Take your pineapples and separate the juice from the pineapples, and then fill the rest of your pineapple juice up until you get to 1 cup, 1 full cup. Remove our meatballs from the skillet. At this point, they will not be fully cooked, okay? And that's fine because they have to go back in the sauce and they will completely cook at that point. We're going to drain about half of this off, trying to reserve some of our pan drippings. So I'll be right back. Okay, you want to reserve your pan drippings like this and maybe about a tablespoon of the oil. Now slowly pour in your pineapple juice. As well as your brown sugar and cornstarch mixture. Go ahead and combine this really well. Once you have it combined, go ahead and put in your white wine vinegar and your soy sauce. Stir to combine and let it come up to a boil. Scrape any of those little bits off the bottom and sides of your skillet. Once it starts to boil like this, give it a stir and add back in your meatballs first. And turn it down so that it can cook on low and just simmer. Also add in your pineapples and green bell peppers. We're going to let this simmer on low until your meatballs are completely cooked. And if you want to be absolutely accurate and know that they're cooked, they need to be 160 degrees Fahrenheit on a instant read thermometer. Okay, so we're just going to let this simmer and we'll be back. Ooh, we are done. Oh my goodness. Ooh, look at that. Don't they look amazing? Oh, and they smell so good. Ooh, okay. You know we have to do our taste test, but before we do, if you are new to the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me today here in my kitchen. Returning subscribers, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, and channel members, thank you so much for your loyal, faithful support. I really do appreciate each and every one of you all. If you are not subscribed to the channel, take a second and subscribe. Let's get to 1.5 million subscribers. Ooh, don't forget to check out my other channels, Pam's POV, other tips, tricks, and hacks, Pam's Pop-Ups, where I go live periodically, and at the Scaredy Cat Gardener, all on YouTube. Okay, without further ado, let's go ahead and give this a taste. Oh, and I do want to say that in making this, if you want to use fresh pineapples, you can, but then you're going to need to juice some or get some pineapple juice because you need that juice. I would suggest like I did. I just bought a can of pineapples, but I made sure there was nothing else in here but the pineapples and the juice. No added sugars, nothing of that nature. If you don't like green bell peppers, maybe you like red, yellow, or orange, feel free to put those in or leave them out. You can also just add some regular onions as well. So, in other words, make it your own. And this will also pair well over pasta, all right? So, without further ado, oh my goodness. Oh, and don't forget, like I said, if you don't want to use a beef tallow, don't have beef tallow, breadcrumbs, crackers, whatever you would use as a binder and something that would also provide an extra layer of flavor, go with it, all right? Customizable. And again, the full recipe is on pamspreps.com along with my seasonings. And if you try this recipe, you make this recipe, or if you're going to make this recipe, leave me a comment over there as well as a review on the seasonings. Okay, enough. They say, shut up, girl, and eat. Oh my goodness. I have this paired over basmati rice. My God, I love basmati rice. This is so good. Make me a cup of coffee, and it's time to eat. You can also throw some veggies in there like broccoli or something like that and make it a one skillet meal. Don't make it hard, make it easy. All right, I will see you all next time. The good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. Bye-bye. Oh, I'm dropping my good stuff.